All right, so here's some extra explanation on how to find the slope of a line using circles and a coordinate grid. So the easiest way to look at this stuff is to be able to just find out a way to be able to understand, okay, how can I find the diameter and how can I calculate the diameter, right? So the easiest way to do this is to just draw a line um, across from the circumference to the circumference, right? And I want to try to find the center of the circle as best as possible because that's just the easiest way, right? And so I see that here it doesn't cross literally at an X and a Y point. So I always want to find where X and Y is directly in the same point. This one, X and Y aren't the same here, and so they don't meet. So I always want to find a point and start from there. I know my radius is half of the diameter. And so here, for instance, I see that my radius is 2, my diameter is 4. So I can just put 4 and 2. I know by definition that the radius is from the center of my circle to the circle circumference. So I know now that this is my center at 2, 0, right? My circumference. Now, to calculate the circumference, we can calculate the diameter times pi, or we can calculate 2 times the size of the radius times pi, right? Either way, we're going to come up with the same answer. So if I use my diameter, that's 4 times 3.14, rounded to the nearest tenth, we're going to have 12.6. Again, I just want to be able to find the center of the graph, or my starting point is always going to be right there where the X and the Y cross at the same point. And then I want to count to the edge of that circle, right? This one's 4. I know the radius is half of that, and the radius always starts from the center. And so that's how I find the center of my circle. Now for my slope, I want to do the same thing, same setup, same philosophy, same mindset. I want to find where X and Y meet at, right? On this line, on this red line. So X and Y meet at this point. Now I want to go across this red line to find another point where X and Y meet at, right? So boom. How do I get from this point to this point in the Y direction and the X direction? So for here is 1, 2. So I know that's a negative 2. 1, 2, 3. I know that's a positive 3. So my slope then is negative 2 divided by 3, right? We'll go to another question so we can kind of see this same example. So again, I'm going to look at the circle circumference, and I'm going to find a point where the X and Y meet at. So right here, X and Y meet right here. I draw a line going to the other side of the circumference. Boom. I now count the points. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is my diameter, so I know my diameter is 6. Well, half of that will be 3. So then I go to the circle circumference again and go 1, 2, 3. Now that's my circle's center. My circle center is now at 1, comma 1. And I have all the information I need to calculate the slope of the line and the circumference. The circumference again is d times pi, right? So if we have d times pi, we have 6 times 3.14. I literally can put that in my calculator and find out what I get, and my answer should be 18.8, right? Now to find the slope of a line, again, I want to find a point where x and y meet on that line. Here we have it. Then I'm going to go back down that line to figure out where they meet again. Boom. My line from left to right is in an increasing fashion, so I know my slope will be positive. So how do I get from here to here? I go 1, 2, just 2. And then up 1, 2, 3. So we do rise over run, right? I know my rise is 3 units. My run is 2. So that means my slope will be 3 over 2, right? And that's how we kind of look at the equation of a line and dealing with circles.